Hey folks, Kevin here with Kev's Castle and CastleRemodel.com. And in this video I'm going to show you how to use a miter saw. I'm going to walk you through all the steps on how to make an angle. I will show you how to measure the board that you're about to cut and make the mark that you need the right way so you don't mess up. And I will go through everything else that you possibly might need to know, like safety, equipment, and things like that. But first, before we get there, I would like to talk to you a little bit about my free home maintenance checklist. I came up with a home maintenance checklist to help you be able to keep your home in top condition by knowing what type of maintenance work needs to be done monthly or by the season or annually and all of that. So I have it all in one free PDF. The link is in the description down below. So go ahead and check that out if you want to know more about that. Otherwise, let's get started in the video. When using a miter saw, the safety equipment that you want to use is our safety glasses. That's pretty much it. You do not want to use gloves. You want to make sure that you're not wearing baggy clothes that can get caught in the blade as it's spinning. Safety glasses are the best, and then also earplugs are another good option for, or another good personal safety equipment that you can use. But yeah, other than that, you don't want gloves because they can get caught in the blade, and then the baggy clothes like long sleeves, baggy sleeves, things like that can get caught in the blade as well. So you want to make sure that you minimize anything that can get caught in the spinning blade. Some of the features of this miter saw that we will go over, let's start with this roller. And what this does is it holds the board up, making sure that it doesn't sink, and it's not going to be dependent on me holding the board completely, which can be difficult and also dangerous. So this is an adjustable roller. It's movable. I can just lift it up and move it where I want. And to adjust it, I would use this handle and turn it to loosen it, turn it to the left, and this pull will actually slide up and down. So I can use one hand on the handle, one hand on the pull. Right now I don't have two hands to show you, but to do that, you would just loosen it up and you would have your board up here on the surface of the saw, and you want to make it so that this height is the same height as this height. So you're gonna lift it up to where the board is flat with the surface of the saw. And another feature with this roller is it has this stop right here, where if you need to, you can put that up and your board will not come any closer this direction. I usually don't use it, but it's nice to have if I need it. Next, we're going to talk about some of the other features. Here's how you set your angle, and to move the angle, there is this trigger down here, and as you can see, there are notches, and these notches fall at key angles that we use, but you can use anything in between. And when it comes to an angle that you use the most, like this is 0, it falls right into that groove. There it goes. There it goes. And so that's at 22.5, which is a common measurement if you are doing something like hanging crown molding or any other type of molding. 22.5 is half of 45, but right, for this example, we will be using the 0 degree mark. Another feature with this saw is it slides out, and not only does it slide out, but it also has what's called a compound angle, where if I wanted to, I'd be able to turn the blade that way, and it's only one direction. I cannot go the other direction towards me. And to do that, there is this handle in the back. I'll loosen that handle and I will set the pitch of the blade with this gauge right here. But for this display, like I said, I'm using it at 0. If I wanted to, I could also lock down the slide. I usually keep it unlocked unless if I'm transporting the saw, moving it somewhere else, I will lock it down in that case. But yeah, and then here's a stop. This, if you were to set it up, if you're making the same length cut every time and you have to do it a lot, then you can set this to where it will stop the wood that you're cutting at that same distance every time. This cut, I want to make it 88 1/8 of an inch. So to do that, slide the board closer to me. Here's 88, and then I want to go 1/8 of an inch beyond, which is 2 of these tick marks. So 88 1/8 is right here. 88 1/8 of an inch is right here. I'll go to the 88 inch mark and then move it over 1/8 of an inch beyond that. And when I draw my mark, I make like a V shape where the point of the V is the 1/8 inch. And the reason why is because that's more accurate. Whereas if you were to do a mark like that, where it's just a straight line, you can see that it's different in measurement as you go down that mark. So this mark varies anywhere from 89 7/16 all the way up to almost 89 5/8. So you have 3/16 of an inch variation just by making a mark that way, which if you don't have a straight edge, if you don't have a square, you're not gonna make a square mark. Chances are it's not going to be as accurate as it could be. So in that case, I'm making it in this V shape where the point of the V is where I want to cut. Now that I have my mark, I'm going to slide it. And you want to keep the board as flat on this surface of the saw as possible, because if you tilt it, then the cut will be off. It'll have more of a bevel and it won't be a perfectly perpendicular square cut that's like as straight as possible. So what I have is a roller on the other side of this board that's holding it up, and as you can see, it does tend to wobble. So the way I have it, I need to hold my hand, and I'm holding my left hand. You'll hold the left hand far enough away from the blade so you don't have to worry about it slipping forward when you're making the cut. With my right hand, I'm going to move the saw down close to the mark, and I'm sliding the board to where that point on the V that I made is up against the side of the blade. It's not centered with the blade. The reason why is because the blade is going to take away what's called a kerf. And what that means is the blade itself has a certain thickness. Usually it's about 1/16 of an inch up to 1/8 of an inch. And that can vary slightly. And so to get an accurate cut, what you want to do is have the edge of the blade lined up with the mark, and not the center of the blade. You want it to where the mark is on the side of the blade that is the length that you want. So what that means is on my left is the board that I will be using, and on the right of the blade is the scrap material. So therefore, the mark that I'm looking at is on the left of the blade. And what I'm gonna do is, after I feel like it's lined up, I'm just walking it along the surface to make sure that it's lined up correctly, and now it is. I'm going to make several passes, and this is a sliding saw, but if you have a miter saw that doesn't slide, you'll just make chopping and then lift it back up so that enough of the material clears out and it makes a clean cut. But because this saw slides, I'm going to slide it along and make probably about 3 passes to cut through. Keep your hands clear of the blade as it's spinning, as always. This one does have a blade guard on it, but I am still making sure that I'm nowhere near the blade when I'm done. And that's how you use a miter saw. All you need to do is make sure that you're accurate with your measurements and you have the mark in the right location when you're making the cut. And also just take your time. Don't rush anything. Make sure that you're being safe when you're using this tool because it is a power tool. It can be very dangerous. If you like this video and you got value out of it, please hit that thumbs up down below. It helps the algorithm so more people can see the video as well. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe. Where here on Kev's Castle and at my blog castleremodel.com, I help you turn your home into your own private sanctuary. Thanks for watching this video, and make sure you check out that home maintenance checklist. Just click that link down below and it will take you right to the page. Thanks for watching.